Like and subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.
In 1996, the Notorious Big decided to start a one-of-a-kind rap group by the name of The Commission, along with Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, Lil Cease, and Charli Baltimore. At the time, Biggie was the #1 rapper in the East Coast. His debut album Ready to Die had just went double platinum, and the Junior Mafia album Conspiracy had just went gold. Jay-Z had just released his debut album Reasonable Doubt, which sold over 400,000 copies. Puff Daddy was the biggest producer in New York City at this time. His album Hell Up in Harlem was highly anticipated. Lil Cease was just becoming a star. After being mentioned in several of Biggie's songs, appearing on both the Junior Mafia Conspiracy album and Lil Kim's Hardcore album, Lil Cease was on his way to the top. Charli Baltimore was Biggie's girlfriend at the time. After leaving him a voicemail of a rap verse that she had written, Biggie began encouraging her to pursue a career in rap. Many believe that this rap group would have been as huge as NWA and Wu-Tang Clan. Biggie was the organizer. Most likely him and Jay-Z would have written most of Puff Daddy, Charli Baltimore, and Lil Cease verses on the album. The chemistry was definitely there. Biggie and Jay-Z's styles were similar. They both grew up on the rough streets of Brooklyn. Big grew up on Fulton Street, and Jay-Z grew up 10 minutes away in Marcy Projects. The two attended the same high school by the name of George Westinghouse Career and Technical Education in Brooklyn, along with DMX and Busta Rhymes. Although Biggie and Jay-Z wasn't friends in high school, they knew of each other. Biggie was allegedly present when Jay-Z rap battled Busta Rhymes in the school cafeteria. Both Jay-Z and Biggie were known battle rappers in Brooklyn. They both were known drug dealers as well. Biggie sold crack cocaine on street corners for years. He would also boost clothes with a gang of females. Jay-Z was deeper in the drug game. By the early 90s, Jay was dealing weight in multiple states. Unlike Big, Jay-Z grew up in the projects with a dysfunctional family. His mother was addicted to crack, and his father was addicted to heroin. Biggie, on the other hand, grew up in a nice home. His mother worked hard to provide for him and even sent him to a private school. In 1991, Biggie was arrested for dealing crack cocaine and had to serve 9 months in jail. When he was released in '92, he began taking rap serious and recorded a demo. The demo fell in the hands of Sean Puffy Combs when he was working for Uptown Records. By '94, Big was signed to Puffy's record label Bad Boy Entertainment. By 1995, the Notorious Big was one of the biggest rappers in the game. Him and Jay-Z met again at producer Clark Kent's studio when Jay-Z was working on the Reasonable Doubt album. The two then began recording Brooklyn Finest. Neither of the two wrote down lyrics. They both created verses in their heads. At the time, this was unheard of. This is when they became good friends. Biggie and Jay-Z began hanging out a lot. Jay-Z learned a lot from Biggie. He was also very competitive. On Lil' Kim's Big Mama Thang track from her 1996 hardcore album, Jay-Z fires friendly shots at Biggie, Lil Cease, and Lance Rivera. The two Brooklyn MCs recorded 2 more songs together, I Love the Dough on Biggie's Life After Death album and Young G's on Puff Daddy's No Way Out album. This was the beginning of the commission. Biggie planned to move to Atlanta and wanted Jay-Z to come along so they could be closer. Around this time, Big was done working with Junior Mafia. He planned to only keep Lil' Kim and Lil Cease. He only owed Bad Boy 3 more albums. He released a double album, so he would only owe Bad Boy 1 more album. According to Dame Dash, Biggie was planning to sign with Rockefeller Records. But according to other inside sources, Biggie was about to start his own record label and sign Lil' Kim, Lil Cease, Cameron, Tracy Lee, and Charli Baltimore. Biggie's label deal was allegedly worth $63 million. He also planned to release the Commission album on his label as well. This was in the middle of the East Coast-West Coast War. Rapper Tupac dissed most of the Commission members in his songs. Jay-Z was planning to fire back and even allegedly recorded a Tupac diss track. The song was never released because Tupac was killed in Vegas on September 13, 1996. Biggie finishes up the Life After Death album. At the time, Jay-Z was working on In My Lifetime Volume 1. He let Biggie hear the track Streets Is Watching. Biggie listened to the track over and over again, impressed with Jay-Z's lyrics. Jay-Z let Big have the CD because Big played the song so many times. Mafioso rap was the top hip-hop genre at the time. Rappers such as Nas, Raekwon the Chef, Ghostface Killah, Biggie, and Jay-Z were the faces of mafioso rap. Biggie's Life After Death album was highly anticipated, and so was Puff Daddy's Hell Up in Harlem album. Bad Boy Records began taking over the rap game. The Commission album would have been released around 1998. The group would have worked with producers such as DJ Premier, Bad Boy producers The Hitmen, Tone and Poke, DJ Clark Kent, and a few other of Big's favorite producers. Puff Daddy would have produced several hit singles for the album. The Commission album would have been an instant classic. Unfortunately, the Notorious Big was shot and killed in Los Angeles on March 9, 1997. After the death of Biggie, many New York MCs was no longer motivated to rap. The pressure was now on Jay-Z to carry New York City on his back. On November 4, 1997, he released his sophomore album In My Lifetime Volume 1. According to Jay, this was his darkest album. He didn't really want to rap at the time. Some say it was Jay-Z's worst album, but many call it a classic. The album went on to sell over 1 million copies. Puff Daddy and the Family No Way Out album was released almost 4 months after Biggie was killed. No Way Out sold over 7 million copies and is considered a classic. The album's original title was Hell Up in Harlem. After the death of Big, Puffy changed the name. Biggie helped Puff with most of the album. It was a dark time in hip-hop. Both Tupac and Big were just killed. Suge Knight was sentenced to 9 years in prison. The East Coast-West Coast war was now over. At this time, the hip-hop police were everywhere. Rappers were being watched daily. A lot of rappers were arrested, and some were even allegedly framed. Jay-Z and Puff Daddy were both on top of the hip-hop police list. Hip-hop wasn't the same after the death of the Notorious Big. It was basically the end of the mafioso era. East Coast rappers such as DMX, Nori, Mobb Deep, Big Pun, and Ja Rule pretty much took over the game with hardcore street hip-hop. Jay-Z became one of the biggest rappers in the industry when he released In My Lifetime Volume 2 Hard Knock Life in 1998. The album sold over 6 million copies. Lil Cease's rap career never took off. After losing his mentor Biggie, Lil Cease wasn't the same. He released his debut album The Wonderful World of Cecilio in the summer of '99. The album peaked at number 26 on the Billboard 200, but didn't do well with sales. Lil Cease basically disappeared after the album flopped, and in 2005, his whole career was damaged after testifying against close friend Lil Kim. Cristal champagne, Rolex watches, Versace shirts, Cuban cigars were all a part of the commission. They were some of the biggest trendsetters in the game. They were about to take mafioso rap to another level. Inspired by films such as The Godfather, A Bronx Tale, Scarface, Reservoir Dogs, Goodfellas, Casino, Carlito's Way, and other mafia movies, the commission album would have definitely sold millions of copies. Too bad the world didn't get to see it happen. Well, that was the commission story. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. I'm out.